taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. Into the coup de grace hour, the final hour of love, hour 3 on C2C, and we move into pain day activity. We always like pain day skinny. That is football, in case you're new.
That is football, in case you're new. And, of course, we have all of these mandatory, for some, mini camps going on this week throughout the NFL. Really our last look at everyone before we break for training camp, which will start at the end of July. Aaron Rodgers making his first appearance as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Met the media for the first time yesterday. There were several topics discussed aside from just the fact that he got married a couple of months ago. Let's kick things off with why was the Pittsburgh Steelers a good fit for him?
Steelers the right fit for you?
I think it starts with Mike Tomlin. I mean, I've been a fan of his for a long time. There's a few iconic franchises in the NFL. I played for one of them for 18 years. This is another one of those. There's something special about, obviously, this area. So many great quarterbacks are from Pittsburgh. I feel like Pittsburgh has been a part of my career from the beginning. Playing for Mike McCarthy for 13 years, having Tom Clements, or Tommy Clements, depending on how old you are, as my quarterback coach forever. Don Capers, Kevin Green, Darren Perry, Ben McAdoo, Frank Signetti,
Anyone else?
Luke Getsy. I don't want to forget anybody, but a lot of Yinzers in my life.
A lot of Yinzers, he said. I like that little touch at the end. A lot of Yinzers. I like that in the end. Listen, there's no denying tradition. 8 Super Bowls, 6 Super Bowl trophies. It's that simple. There's nothing else to say.
No, there is not anything else to say. One more from Rodgers before we move on. The difference already, he's only been with the Steelers for a couple days. Someone actually asked him the difference between Pittsburgh and the Jets. I guess they were kind of putting the bait out for him, and let's just say Rodgers wasn't going to take it.
I'm 41, so the body feels different than it did at 25, but I feel better. I feel good last year. I worked really hard. It was a tough couple years, getting hurt and then rehabbing for a year to get back, but I feel good.
Aaron, kind of along those lines, after the way things unfolded last year, what do you feel like is different about this organization and about you physically, mentally, that will lead to more success here?
I'm not gonna take any shots at my previous organization, if that's what you're trying to get me to do. I'm just going to talk about these guys. I like the opportunity here. I like the feel with the guys. I like how Mike T has been in the meetings. Tom Arth and I have known each other since 2006. He was in my quarterback room our first off season together. Still has the prettiest drop I've ever seen. So it was good to see him. Arthur I've known for a number of years. Obviously everybody in the Shanahan tree is close.
Listen, I mean, look, we all know that his days are numbered. We all know it didn't work with the Jets. We all know he can still throw it. We all know he's smart. We all know he gets rid of the ball quick. We all know he was injured. He had a couple injuries last year that hampered him. We know they didn't win. It is what it is. Look, the Jets don't win no matter who their quarterback is. They didn't win with Brett Favre. They don't win with anybody. They've literally won with nobody. So, believe it, the only guy that ever won there was Mark Sanchez. And, I mean, in the last 20 years, right? So, he got him to 2 title games. So, you can make fun of him all you want, butt fumble, whatever. He was their best quarterback that they've had. Pennington would be the second best, right? Like, let's get real. So, this guy is going to a place that knows how to win. They do win. You know, it's funny. They got him at 8.5. Everybody thinks they suck. They're not going anywhere. Watch what happens. They'll still win 10, 11 games. They always do. So get ready. It's coming. Everyone thinks they're finishing 3rd or 4th in the North. Good luck with that. They won 10 games by December this last year when everyone said they were going to suck with Russell Wilson and with Justin Fields. So the thing is, win, win, loss, win, win, loss. All those morons out there that think they got the NFL figured out. You know what you know about the NFL? Absolutely nothing.
It's always people, as we always like to say, people who think they know. And I saw a good line from Arthur Smith today. They asked him, we know you know this. I don't have to tell you. Arthur Smith loves to run the ball. You saw it plenty last year with the Steelers. So somebody asked him about that, and he said, "Do you think we brought Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf here to run the wishbone?" That was his response.
Yeah.
So
they didn't bring this guy there to run the ball. But look, if they get a running game with this kid from Iowa, and let's say he's decent, then you can really open up the pass. If you got to worry about some guy getting 5 or 6 yards going left or right, the problem with I thought Najee was tough, but they run him off tackle every play. Like the Steelers run up the middle like no one else. And I just think in the NFL today in 2025, it's fruitless. You go up the middle in the NFL, you got a 395-pound guy standing there ready to kill you. You're just not gaining yards to me up the middle. I think you got to get outside. You see it all the time with Barkley. He gets outside and he gets a hole and he goes and it's over. He runs right, runs left, finds the hole, goes. Steelers go right up the middle every play. It's so boring. I think, and Arthur Smith's a part of that. And then before that, Canada was a part of it. Their offense was anemic. Don't even tell me I'm a season ticket holder. I go to the games. I have more fun standing at the liquor line. I mean, that takes an hour in itself to get 2 in your hand. And it costs $40.
Certainly does.
I should be able to get 3 drinks when I'm up there at Carver High. I know you're a fan of a 3-pack.
3-pack would be perfectly fine for me. They should find a way to be able to do that. We'll go to Buffalo next. Of course, James Cook wasn't at any of the offseason OTAs, but it's mandatory this week. Even though he wants a new deal, he also doesn't want to lose any money holding out either. Here is Cook.
I like my money, do. I definitely do, but so that's why I'm here. I mean, why not? I'm here. I'm part of the team and just not practicing with my leader. So it just got to practice and get the job done. It's my team, and in order enough to win a Super Bowl or compete for a Super Bowl and have a winning season, I have to be out there and be out there with my teammates.
You know what? I think he's a really good back, and I think the cheap-ass Bills need to give him some money and stop with this charade because they're going to regret it if they don't. It's only going to get worse from here. Just give him the money. You know what? The Bills and Steelers kind of remind me of each other and how cheap they are. The Steelers are playing this game right now with T.J. Watt. Of all people that you're going to F with, the best player on the team that makes all your tackles, that sacks the quarterback, that the fans love more than anyone else. He's basically Jack Lambert of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what do? They F with him too. You would think this guy was applying for a car loan. I mean, honestly, can we get the guy his money in Buffalo and get Watt his money in Pittsburgh and stop playing all these effing games all the time? I mean, honestly, already Carver High.
Yeah, you don't like it, that's for sure. But I do like that he showed up. I do like that he's there, either way. We'll save this for later. I don't know if you saw this Myles Garrett thing about Aaron Rodgers.
I have to watch it.
I will give you that later.
How long does it take?
We only got 30 seconds left, so we won't be able to run that and actually give you. You're gonna want to react to this one. So we'll have to save that one for
already
later.
This guy threatening players.
And considering he's never won. Oh, let me just check. Anything. He's never won anything. And he's talking about, threatening players and putting them in the ground. We'll see about that. So we'll hear from Myles Garrett later on and a few others. But we got Stewie next from Oakmont, getting ready for the U.S. Open. He's there.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. This, I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Look, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
And we are back for El Coast to Coast here on a Wednesday, a Golf Wednesday on C2C as we get ready for the 125th United States Open. Oakmont, Pennsylvania. Let's go, baby. 10th time that they have been there. And, of course, Keith Stewart from Read the Line, who's with us every week, he is there at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Keith, it is great to have you, as always, here on Coast to Coast. And for another major championship, everybody's got to be excited. I heard the rough is now up to their ears, Keith, I heard it's up to ears now, some of the rough.
Mike, I tell you what, a good afternoon on a Golf Wednesday. I wish it was up over my eyes. I went in the merch tent earlier today. Everything is in black and gold. I was sick to my stomach. As a Rangers fan, I was like I need to come out here and see this carnage and look at Penguins colors. I was losing my mind, but I digress. Let's get into the golf.
Let's get into the golf. Of course, you joined us for the preview show earlier in the week, and I had the first ask of you about what's the weather going to look like, what's the conditions going to look like. Now that you've spent another couple days walking around the course, seeing some guys out there practicing, range, etc., what can you tell me about what this place is actually going to look like when we start on Thursday morning?
I mean, this is such an important question right now because it's almost going to be a tale of 2 tournaments. The first 2 rounds are going to play like the Oakmont we expect, like the Oakmont we saw in 2007 with Angel Cabrera when everyone was over par. It is starting to get a little crispy out here. The moisture is really coming out of the ground. We've had, high clouds, nice sun, a little bit of breeze. Yesterday, today, we're going to have it tomorrow. We're going to have it on Friday. And then going into Saturday morning, Saturday day, we're looking at over the weekend, maybe close to a half an inch, maybe 0.6 of an inch of rain. Not a ton of wind, not like a storm front or anything, but we're going to get a lot of moisture. We're going to get a lot of rain. So it's going to kind of change the golf course a little bit. You're going to have a choice to make. You're going to have to adapt to this thing because the first 2 days are going to be super fiery and everyone is going to be so excited to watch the carnage that's about to take place.
And as far as, so it's going to be like that the first 2 days, and then you said they're going to expect some weather over the weekend. That maybe we'll get, that could maybe give us some stops on Saturday too, right, Keith? There may be some thunder, lightning, etc., that causes us some minor delays, not big delays, minor delays.
Mike, I think you could stay calm, right? You keep the blood pressure in check this weekend. I think it's just going to be more like a nuisance rain. It's going to be like a farmer's rain we're going to get all day. It's going to soften things up. It's going to, if you're one of those guys that likes to bet, the final score, everyone's talking about, is it going to be under par? Is it going to be over par? They're going to finish under par because it's going to get soft over the weekend, and the best players are going to be left low 60 in ties this week, one of the toughest cuts to make the weekend after 36 holes, 156 guys down to the low 60 in ties. Those guys will be the ones playing the best. Then they'll get the softest conditions. I think you'll get a couple guys, less than a handful, but you'll get a couple guys under par.
Let's talk about Scotty first, Keith, because obviously he is the heavy favorite here at Oakmont coming up. Now, you have had some very creative ways to play Scotty as he's gotten on fire here. I believe, what do we won now? 3 of his last 4 starts, right, Keith? I believe it's 3 of the last 4 Scotty's won, including, of course, the PGA Championship last month. So give me some ways that we could bet this guy, because plus 280 for the entire tournament, that's just not palatable to me, Keith.
Let me try to encapsulate for you how much of a favorite or how much he is playing better than the field, right? Over his last 5 starts, and you mentioned it, you were right, Mike, 3 wins and 4 starts, but over his last 5 starts, Scotty's gaining 14 strokes per tournament against the field. If that's too big a number for you, then every round of the 4 rounds, he's gaining 3.5 strokes on the field. So he's basically starting like a dozen ahead this week at Oakmont, or at least 10 with a double-digit lead. He's got the spread on Sunday going against Georgia. It's kind of ridiculous at this point how much better he's playing. He's playing better than he did last year when he won 9 times across the world. So to put that in perspective, as we head into this tournament, he's at such a low number, plus 250, plus 260, plus 280. It keeps kind of fluctuating. There's no point betting him yet to win after 4 rounds. We're going to have to see how this thing plays out. But there are a couple things that you can do where he goes into some smaller markets, not against the other 155 golfers, but against some smaller markets where maybe he's only got to take on just a couple of guys in the field, right? So what I love to do is I love to dabble in some of these prop markets, and I'm going to go low USA at plus 175. And then I'm going to add, Carlos Ortiz and Corey Connors. I'm going to add low North American for plus 175. Round 1, he's probably going to shoot around even par. I think that'll keep him in the top 10. So I'm going to go round 1, top 10 for plus 185. And then, I love the 3rd round leader. Scotty's, he's notorious. He did this at Quail Hollow. He's done this in other major championships and other tournaments. He did it at Muirfield a couple weeks ago. He positions himself. He puts the afterburners on moving day. He gets up to the top of the leaderboard, and then he just squashes your soul come Sunday, right? So I love the plus 350 3rd round leader on Saturday night here at Oakmont.
Yeah, I've seen some other crazy ones, to lead after round 3 and win. But then he's got to finish the job on Sunday. Not saying that he wouldn't, but that was, I think, plus 500 to be the round 3 leader and win. So another $1.50. I mean, I think you're probably right. Safer, just take the 350 that he's leading after the 3rd round, and you don't have to mess around with anything else after that. Give me one. Go ahead, Keith. Finish it.
I was just going to say, if you pile those 4 on, you're almost getting 10 to 1. And then on Saturday night, when he's minus 150 or minus 200 to win the whole thing, you add that on too, and then you just rake, right? I mean, that's basically what's going to happen. And if for some reason he's plus 250 on Sunday morning because he's like 4 back and we're going into this like hellacious golf course test on a Sunday at a U.S. Open to win, and the leader is like Russell Henley, like by all means, back up the truck, beep, 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 and just pile on the cash at plus 250 on Scotty.
And you know what the other good thing about doing that is, Keith, is you actually then have, you got a little bit of a net underneath you. If he doesn't win the entire tournament, you've got some things, whether it's the first round, whether it's the low American, maybe he finishes second to Rory, something like that, where you're still getting paid out if he doesn't win the tournament. You're not getting paid out with that plus 280 unless he wins. That's it. That's the only way that you can go. So I like what you're thinking with Scotty. We will get the rest of the card from Keith Stewart. Read the line when we come back. The outrights, the placements, and more next on Coast to Coast.
it'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do. But the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you can't really, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. This, I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Face. He's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight. Only on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast, here on a Wednesday, a golf Wednesday on C2C with the 125th U.S. Open teeing off in the morning. Keith Stewart from Read the Line is there at Oakmont, getting ready for all of it. All right, Keith, give me some outrights here for this week. As usual, reading the same mail. I love to see that when I see your card.
Well, Mike, you read the line. So, you know, it comes in the mail every Wednesday morning. You know what's coming, and it's great that we're sharing the same thoughts, even from Monday when we did the preview show. But I'm starting with the Spaniard, Jon Rahm. This guy's a serious golfer. A lot of those guys over at Live aren't. Jon Rahm is. He had a debacle of a major championship season last year. In fact, he showed up to the U.S. Open last year at Pinehurst with a flip-flop on because he had a bad toe. You know, he is back with a vengeance. He was 7th in Troon out of the bad wave. You flip to this year, 14th in April at Augusta. You know, he was 8th last month at the PGA. And you know what? A lot of people discredit the Live Tour, right? He's had 19 starts there and 19 top 10s. John is taking this seriously. He is a top 5 golfer in the world. There's no doubt about that. He is that level of talent. But you and I have talked about this week on air and off air, and you keep saying, why Rahm? Why Rahm over Bryson? Why can Rahm, test Scotty? Why can he do this? And I really think it comes down to the ground game is going to be so important here. What I mean by that is hitting the targets that are away from the hole and then letting the ball roll up to the hole in order to make birdie or save par or whatever you're going to do. Rahm is really good at that stuff, right? He takes a lot of pride in being Spanish and like the Sevi mantra, right? He is excellent from the sand. There's 168 bunkers here. I mean, as if 167 weren't enough, right? Like, this is the secret sauce. He's a really good lag putter, and he's super powerful off the tee. He hits the ball just like DJ, just like Angel. At plus 1,200, I think of the favorites, Rahm is the one that really gives me a lot of momentum, and I feel good about him. Then we got to talk about the kid, Ludwig Oberg, right? I got him the other day before the preview show at plus 3,500. I'm not the only one that's thinking this, Mike. He's down in the low 20s, and I think he might be down in the high teens by the time we start tomorrow, right? He's the number 1 driver on tour while Rory's figuring out what TaylorMade he's using, right? At 320, he lines the center of the fairway. It's going to be a huge advantage this week. And then on top of that, he's building off the last 5 rounds. He was great in the final round at Muirfield, and then he had 4 rounds in the 60s up in Canada, gained over 7.5 with his ball striking, gained like another 4 with the putter. Right? And the one thing I really love about him is that you saw last year at Pinehurst, it was frustrating. He finished T12. I love his demeanor. And then the last guy, I'm going with Harry English. 9 times he's shown up to the U.S. Open. 9 times he's played the weekend. At plus 10,000 or 100 to 1, he just fits this. He was 12th at the Masters. He was 2nd at the PGA. And you want to have some comp courses in the U.S. Open. At Winged Foot in 2020, he's 4th. At Torrey Pines in 2021, he's 3rd. Get on Harry English.
Harry English at an unbelievable price there, triple digits at 100 to 1. All right, give me some placements here for these guys.
All right, X marks the spot for the top 10. And the reason being, in 8 starts at the U.S. Open, he's got 7 top 10s. This first U.S. Open he qualified for, Mike, was Erin Hills in 2017, right? The year after they played Oakmont, and the guy finished 5th, right? I'm taking him for a top 10. Top 20, Shane Lowry, the Irish Bear. It's a tribute to you. And you know what? It's also a tribute to my wallet, right? The golf course gets hard, and Shane plays really, really good. He was the leader here in 2016 going into the final round. Top 40s. The Monday preview show, it got to me. I don't know if it was the heat out here at Oakmont, whatever it might have been. Maybe it was the rough. But we're going Cam Young. We're going to ride the U.S. Open qualifying putt in the playoff. We're going to ride the 4th place at Canada, where he almost could have won that event, right? So Cam Young, straight driver. He's good with the putter. He's good on very difficult golf courses when he's playing one, and he's in great form right now. The other guy, Adam Scott, another great driver, great scrambler. I talk about, how Rahm is good in the Open Championship over there. Adam Scott almost won an Open Championship, and he's been great over there for years. He doesn't make a lot of birdie putts with that, with that long broomstick putter, but he makes a lot of pars. He's a great lag putter, and you're going to have to be able to do that.
Definitely going to be having to do that this week. Cameron Forever Young on the card. Head-to-heads. I see Thor's hammer on here on the head-to-heads.
Yeah, first thing I'm going to go with Patrick Reed over Tony Finau. It's kind of an even matchup as far as the odds go, but I'm going to take the better putter and the better short game guy. Plus, back in 2016, he finished T13 here in the Open, so that gives him a little bit of an advantage. And then we got Thorbjorn Olesen over Davis Thompson. Yes, Thunder Bear, my tribute to my brother, my long-lost brother, my brother from another mother, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart. I'm taking Thorbjorn over Davis, and the reason being, Davis, he's just been bad with the putter. He's been bad around the green, and you know what? He's missed 2 of his last 3 cuts. Take Thorbjorn and have yourself a weekend.
Thunder Bear, top Dane for, of course, the Prime Minister. Keith Stewart from Read the Line. He'll be with us, of course, the next couple days. From there at Oakmont, the U.S. Open. Let's go, baby.
It'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do, but the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalposts got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8 seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face. It's the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face. of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Is there anything better than Stewie live at Oakmont? I mean, a absolute show stealer right there. He just stole the whole show from all of us. You, me, everyone. Mafia. He stole it from everyone. Jake even got schooled right there by Stewie.
And he's even going to come do it again the next 2 days, live during the first and second rounds on Coast to Coast from there in Oakmont. So
You're lying.
How great is that? From right there, Oakmont Country Club, just outside of Pittsburgh. They'll get it going tomorrow morning, very early.
The rough is so deep, Stewie's shoes are wet.
That's they said. Make sure you wear shoes you don't care about if you're going to be out there the next couple days with it. All right, let's try to get a couple of these other NFL things in. We're not completely done with the golf because I know we have we've got that Smiley report coming up that we'll probably do at the start of the next segment. So we got to get Smiley in too for a Golf Wednesday.
Okay.
Here's the Myles Garrett thing. So listen to him here. He was asked about Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers and what his opinion of that was. Here's Myles Garrett.
What do I think about it?
Face him twice a year.
I think it's a good opportunity to put him in the graveyard.
Put him in the graveyard. You're your boy right there who never wins anything. Put him in the graveyard.
I mean, with the Browns, with all their titles.
Put him in the graveyard. Look, calm down, Miles. Seriously. It's too much sometimes. They do a lot of talking. They never win, but they do a lot of talking.
Oh, yeah. They're the greatest team ever with their 0 Super Bowls.
Speaking of the Browns, I'm not done with them.
They
Here's
can't even play in
Shador.
the Super Bowl. That's how bad they are.
No, they can't. Of course, we did that story yesterday that Dion wasn't feeling well and that he's been back at home away from Colorado. Shador was asked about that yesterday at Cleveland. Let's just say he only has one focus, Scotty, and that's playing quarterback for the Browns. He doesn't want to hear any questions about his dad or anything else. Here's Shador.
Your dad mentioned on a recent podcast that, he's still kind of going through his health challenge. And that
yeah, I don't know what's going on. So I'm here not to talk about Pops and him. Yeah. I'm here for the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, my question was, though, if you don't mind answering this, do you kind of have to just, like you said, be where your feet are and not, I'm sure that's something that would be a worry to you if you let yourself kind of think about it here. So is that something that you're trying to just
I'm focused on learning this playbook and everything I got to do to be the most successful quarterback I could be and be the best teammate I could be. Outside of that, I don't really have no thoughts or, really opinions on anything outside this game.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We good.
Oh, appreciate y'all.
Thanks for your horrible questions. Can you go to the back of the line, please, and start over?
Well,
that was pathetic. Honestly, let's not. And you know what? I am not nice. So if you're gonna come in here with that fruit cup stuff, you're just gonna get slammed on this show. I don't care who she is. That was awful.
Look, and I like, honestly, I like his focus because what were we told about him? He's a me guy. He's like, I'm talking about playing quarterback for the Browns.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't want to talk about anything else.
Right now, he's the 4th string quarterback.
Right. So I heard he's like inching past Gabriel for the 3 spot. He's already he's rounding through everybody, and he's trying to work his way up the chart. Stephon Diggs, of course, had that video a couple of weeks ago of him on a boat partying. We played that Vrabel video saying guys got to make better decisions. So Diggs met with the media in New England yesterday. Now, he started it off by saying, a lot of things have happened in my personal life. I'm not going to talk about my personal life. I've talked to Vrabel. I've talked to the organization. I'm not going to talk about anything in my personal life. Let's just say the Patriot media members, Scotty, they weren't going to end with just that. They wanted more.
Obviously, it's a conversation, that's happening internal. You know what I'm saying? I can't have too much of a conversation about it. But I've been in this league 10 years. You can format the question many different ways. I'm obviously answer it the same way. So.
Step one, did you know it was being recorded?
Once again, you can format the question many different ways. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for 10 years. The conversation that I had with Braves and the people in the building, obviously, is going to be handled internal. You know what I'm saying? An in-house thing. So.
Do you regret it happened?
So you asked me again. I would hate to repeat myself again.
Obviously, we saw you afterwards here. So, what even though you've been in the league for 10 years, we all learn things every single day. What did you learn from it? And how do you move forward with it as a New England Patriot?
Obviously, I don't want to be rude, but I would hate to repeat myself for the 4th time. But you want me to repeat myself again? Say the same thing again? I mean, I'm trying to be as polite as possible, but.
He really is. And you know what? It's so painful. But here's the deal. It was pretty obvious to me that he was turning all these chicks on to the pink cocaine. So I actually don't believe Steph Diggs is doing pink cocaine, but I think he'll do anything to sleep with 5 or 6 chicks at once, which includes giving them all pink cocaine. So we all saw it. Something came of it. And I'm sure the NFL didn't like it. I guarantee you Bob Kraft didn't like it. I guarantee you Vrabel didn't like it. And I'm sure they drug tested him, because if you're hanging out with a bunch of chicks that are naked and you got bags of pink cocaine on you, you're going to get drug tested if they got you on film. So let's get real here for a second and simplify this. They handled it. And I guarantee you he passed the drug test, and he wasn't doing it, but they all were. And it looked like a fantastic party.
It did look like it was quite the time being had on that boat.
Very revealing.
There was a lot going on.
Teoscar Hernandez with a 3-run jack at the Petco here, and the Dodgers are up 4-1. 3-run jack. Just not happening.
You gotta be kidding me. You just gotta be kidding me. Like, I played the guy late night last night, and he leaves the game. Like, they take him out of the game today. It's.
You had him
zigging and
last night,
zagging
and then he
here
does it
lately.
today.
He does it the homers today. Saquon Barkley not planning on retiring anytime soon. He made some comments or something that he could be one of these guys that just retires out of nowhere on a podcast or something. But he reiterated yesterday that he's not planning on retiring anytime soon. Denver signs J.K. Dobbins to a 1-year deal. That'll be worth $5.25 million. Vikings signed tight end Josh Oliver to a 3-year, $23 million extension. Who? And the Netflix documentary
And the
on
tight
Jerry
end no
Jones.
one's ever heard of. They got all that money. What a deal.
Netflix documentary on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, highly anticipated. Everybody's waiting for it. It'll premiere on August the 19th on Netflix, the Jerry Jones documentary.
Very exciting. I won't watch that either. Like I didn't watch the Boston Celtic one and never will. My buddy's like, did you watch the Celtic one? I'm like, over my dead body would I watch that. Or that 04 Red Sox. Not watching that either.
There's no shot. You cannot make another Boston Celtic documentary and give me anything new that wasn't in the first 90 Boston Celtics documentaries.
You'd have to tie me into a container and have me with those wraps around my hands and zip tied, and I'd have to be in a container for 6 months and force me to watch it with loud music playing.
That sounds like that's like a panic room. Like put you in a room and just strap you down and have to listen to all of it.
Q right now on Netflix. They got this chick in there for 4 years in a container, and she looks like she smells.
You mentioned after the 3-run homer, 4-1 Dodgers. The Diamondbacks have a 5-2 lead on the Mariners.
How's that going for the Mariners today? That big 1-0 lead.
Not good.
I told you.
And the A's have a 3-0 lead over the Angels in the bottom of the sixth inning in Anaheim. Plus money right there. So we'll come back and we'll do the Smiley report when we come back from the U.S. Open. I know he's there now.
Smiley!
Looking for an edge in betting basketball? Injuries can make or break a game. Get insider knowledge from Dr. David Chow and the team of experts with Sick Picks at Sports Injury Central. We reveal hidden health-based advantages the sports books miss. Our doctors provide insights, and our algorithm tells you who to bet on. Spreads, props, totals, in-game bets, Sick Picks covers it all. Go to SickScore.com and sign up for Sick Picks and use the promo code SportsGrid for a free week today.
Hey sports fans, here's a tip to keep in mind the next time you make your betting picks. According to research, home field advantage is no joke, especially in those playoffs. In the NBA and the NFL postseason, the home team typically has a 64% shot at victory. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things can change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall Coast to Coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Plenty of takeaways from Yankees-Dodgers where LA sent the message on Saturday, and the only way the Yankees could salvage it was somehow beating Yamamoto, and they did.
You're staring a sweep in the face. And after losing the World Series, knowing what the opponent is, you know what the narrative would have been on Sunday Night Monday. Oh, Yankees get swept by the Dodgers.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Let's check in with the Smiley report from the U.S. Open.
So now, here it is. Time for our one and done picks. I'm going first, and I've just been kind of leading into this the entire show. I'm going John Rahm. There's just something, and I felt so against taking Rahm and all the majors going to last year since he left for LIV up until this point, and it just feels like something changed a little bit. Hearing him talk at Quail, hearing him just kind of feel like he's closer to it, he's more motivated, and I just feel like with a good, the putter we talked about has been a little up and down, but likes putting on Poe. He's a Poe boy, and I think that if he has a good week rolling the rock, I think he's right there in the mix. Maybe wins this thing.
Okay, love it. Can you help me out with who I haven't picked?
Yes, yes. As a matter
because I have like a couple
I
guys that I'm thinking about taking, and I'm just like, have I taken him yet?
Yes. Let's make sure. Let's just verify that we. I have some catching up to do on the spreadsheet too. In all honesty, it's partially my fault, so I'll accept responsibility there. All right, who would you like to take?
I really like your John Rahm pick.
Okay.
I kind of don't know. I kind of want to take Scotty.
You took Scotty at Vedanta, so you can't take him here.
Have I taken Sepp?
You took Sepp at Valspar.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you, unfortunately.
Dude,
Wish I was
about to pull trig there on my boy. Okay.
Who'd you take a Memorial? Do you remember you took a Memorial?
No, I don't.
I'm like 2 weeks behind. We'll clean this up after the show.
Who did I take at Memorial?
Who did you take a Memorial? I don't even know who I took a Memorial.
Okay.
I mean, I have 2 small children. This is not my fault. I'm not displacing blame.
I gotta look at the odds board. I really do not know who.
Do you want me to read you some odds?
Yeah, give me the odds.
All right, so Scotty plus 275, Bryson plus 750, John Rahm 12-1, Rory 12-1, Xander 22-1, Colin 25-1. Yes, Joaquin Neiman 30-1. I know you want to do it. I know he looks like a guy that wants to take Joaquin Neiman at 30-1. Playing good golf right now.
I'm going to take Morikawa.
You're going to take Morikawa. Let me make sure you've not taken him because there's a high likelihood that you have.
That's not true. I'm not taking him. Take it back.
You've not taken. Wait, he might have taken Colin Morikawa Memorial. I mean, if he did, then that's kind of my fault. Our crack research department is.
Did I take Morikawa Memorial?
This is the most unhinged. How'd you take the one guy that was the missing puzzle piece?
I think I may have taken Morikawa.
I think you did. Something's telling me you did. Okay. I know you took Sam Burns at.
I know it didn't feel right taking him twice.
That's right. Look, that's big of you. That's big of you to avoid that.
Okay. Well, with that, I am between two players now. I'm between Xander Schauffele and I'm between Shane Lowry.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go Xander. U.S. Open, 7 out of top 8. I sold many of you earlier on this, so let's go with the stats. Hope the game shows up. Xander Schauffele.
Po' boy. Could be another po' boy.
Yep.
We went double po' boy this week. I like that. Now I want a shrimp po' boy.
I love those guys. They were clearly drunk. What are the odds for the Oakmont U.S. Open? All of their picks. I believe in you, Stewie, and Cam's picks before those. So I just want to see what they are, so I can at least throw one. I've already thrown one your way that I'm interested in, and that's Rose.
Yeah. Yes. And Rose is about $110. Down the list, 110-1 for Rosie there. But Scheffler is, of course, the favorite. Bryson, Rory, Rahm, Xander, Colin Morikawa, Ludwig. That's the top of the board for you. The favorites for Oakmont.
How in God's name can Justin Rose be 110-1 when he's in every major? And the way that guy plays in the clutch, and how he finishes second in majors, and how he's on the final day on Sundays in majors. How is that even humanly possible? Tell me that.
It's hard to believe, but that is what it is. He's way down there. He hasn't been playing well lately, but still, tough golf courses. He's usually in the
no
mix.
one on that board right there, including Scheffler.
It's
Everyone
very possible.
thinks he's going to win, and he's going to have as many problems as the next guy.
Did you see that video you sent me of all of them? Asking all the golfers, what do they think an 18 handicap would shoot at Oakmont? I thought they were all way off. They were all like 110, 120. I think it's more like $140. I think it's more like in that area. Honestly.
I mean, if I shot I did it once at I think $114, and I was ready to kill myself at the turn. I was ready to inject needles in my arm. I played them all. I played Bethpage, and it didn't go well. And I'm talking about when I was still a good golfer. And I'm not a good golfer anymore. I don't play anymore. But I used to be a good golfer, and I can hit a golf ball. And all I know is I played all these great courses, every one of them, in the country. Torrey Pines, all of them. I played in the Bob Hope. I played in Riviera. I played at every great golf course. And this golf course will spit you out. And I mean to tell you, it was awful. It was awful. I didn't have fun at all. I literally wanted to slice my wrists. Let's get real.
Scotty Scheffler will attempt to become the 6th player to win the PGA Championship and the U.S. Open in the same year. Sarazan, Hogan, Nicklaus, Tiger, and Brooks Koepka are the other 5 who have done that. And the U.S. Open is keeping the same prize structure as last year. The winner will get $4.3 million. Total prize of $21.5 remains the most lucrative major of the 4, the U.S. Open.
Are they complaining about that, too, because they didn't up the prize money? It's still the highest prize money in golf, and I'm sure that there's guys at dinner right now complaining about it, because they're all stuck-up bees.
it'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do. But the Knicks are at a point now where they don't have to blow it up. They may still do so, and they have a right to do so, but with trading the 4 first-round picks and the pick swap for Mikal Bridges, the Knicks don't have a lot of room in regards to actual picks to throw at people.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
No one is going to pick Indiana. No one's going to pick Indiana to make it close, honestly. Like, you could get tremendous odds if you pick OKC in 7.
I think that taking the series over 5.5 games, the last 2 NBA Finals series ended in 5. I think this one goes 6. I think the Thunder will get the job done, but I think the Pacers are just too strong of a team and too talented of a team and too deep of a team to lose in 5 or fewer games.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Knicks really got past that playoff dragon for them that really stood in their way. So for the New York Knicks to be the Celtics and then an outright favorite to win the Eastern Conference Finals, that's where the disappointment is.
The goalpost got moved, right? Because when you went into the Celtics series, a lot of Knicks fans said they weren't going to beat it. I'll say this is more unprecedented than the 99 run when they were the 8th seed.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Face is the new face. New face of what? The hell are you talking about? Like seriously. Oh, the new face of the NBA, Anthony. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean? Like, really? Guy's got 2 shots. You're the face of the NBA. Slow down. He's a good player. I've always thought the whole face of the NBA thing was comical. You want him to be the face of the NBA because you don't like it that all the other faces of the NBA aren't American.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Loves leftovers.
Everybody does love leftovers. Obviously, we'll spend more time tomorrow on Stanley Cup Final Game 4 because it is tomorrow night in South Florida with the Panthers, of course, up 2-1 after their victory the other night in Game 3. So we'll do a lot more Stanley Cup for that. Jake Wallman of the Oilers, his wallet's a little lighter today. He was fined $5,000 for that roughing play on Tkachuk late in Game 3. Also fined another $5,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct. Remember when he was spraying the water bottle across the benches at the Panthers? They tabbed him for $5,000 for that also. So a $10,000
Somebody
total.
around here had him to score a goal on a prop bet the other day, and that guy, I don't even know who he is, let alone score a goal. But he got $10,000 in fines for his great offensive outburst. He sucks.
How about this news that came down today? Mario Lemieux and those couple guys that sold the Penguins to Fenway Sports Group, they're looking to buy it back from Fenway Sports Group. How about Mario wanting to take the Penguins?
Yeah, it's Burkle and Morehouse. Those are his partners. They want to buy the team back. Remember, when they owned the team, they won Stanley Cups. Fenway Sports Group doesn't spend a nickel on the Penguins, and they lose. So it would be the greatest thing that ever happened to the Penguins is getting Lemieux to own the team again outright. And Burkle's 72. I'm good friends with both of them. I don't know Morehouse. I got Stanley Cup cufflinks from Burkle as a gift, and I've done work with him. He's just a fantastic guy. Owns a ton of supermarkets in California and in the West Coast. Guy's a multi-billionaire. Just having Lemieux and Burkle and Morehouse own that team again would be the best thing that ever happened because Fenway Sports Group can go screw themselves. They've done nothing in Pittsburgh except create a mess. Go back to Boston, you femmes.
Cale Makar won the Norris Trophy. Second time that Makar has won. That, of course, goes to the best defenseman in the NHL. The Rangers are getting close to trading Chris Kreider to Anaheim. Believe he's just talking it over with the family before agreeing to that deal.
At this point, his career's over in New York.
Yes, it is. NCAA President Charlie Baker says the settlement helps NCAA stabilize, avoid bankruptcy. Of course, that's the settlement we've been talking about all week.
Right.
That came through a few days ago.
That's amazing.
Also,
otherwise, they were going to be bankrupt. That is crazy.
Bankrupt, he says. Bankrupt. believe it or not. Also from the NCAA today, there's positive momentum for a switch to quarters in men's basketball. Of course, they play 2 20-minute halves now. The women went to quarters about 10 years ago, and they're talking about going to quarters in the basketball. Whatever. The Belmont Stakes had 3.83 million viewers on Saturday on Fox. We mentioned that before. The United States men's soccer team got absolutely throttled 4-0 by the Swiss in a friendly in Nashville last night. They opened the World Cup 1 year from today.
Thank God they're automatically in it because they suck.
They have been awful, and I know I heard a lot of excuses last night. Well, they don't play none of their regular guys want to play in these friendlies, that it's not the real team.
Well, their backups suck even worse.
They look awful. They look awful. The NBA getting involved. Of course, they've been playing some international games lately. Now they're going to play a game in Mexico City.
All these
November the
sports
1st.
leagues can't get enough of Mexico City. It must be the blow or something. They got to go down to Mexico City, up in the high altitude down in Mexico. What is the fascination with this place, with every league in sports?
It'll be the Mavericks and the Pistons November 1st.
And then they all go down there and get diarrhea and get sick.
Well, don't eat any of that meat that Canelo ate a few years ago.
Don't eat or drink.
You'll be
no
don't eat to drink the water either. And last for me, Victor Wembanyama is in the middle of a 10-day stay at a Shaolin temple that welcomes visitors who wish to study Chan meditation, Kung Fu, and Chinese medicine. Your boy Wemby getting involved.
As you know, Carver High, I am a big fan of Kung Fu.
Yes.
I want to be involved in Kung Fu. For all the finish, Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys, the legend, has passed at 82. Think about that, the Beach Boys, how many hits the Beach Boys had. That guy was an institution. R. Kelly, pushing for prison release. He claims he's the target of an Aryan gang murder plot and the Nazis want to kill him. I still think they're going to leave him in prison. Home invasion at Macklemore Seattle home. The nanny was bear-maced while the kids were in bed and they stole everything. Front Office Sports is next, then GTD, then In-Game Live. Catch Carver and Lisi at 8. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on Coast to Coast. Check it out.
If we had like Big Shot Bob for Robert Horry, what are we calling Tyrese Halliburton? Because Big Shot Bob would give you like 1 a postseason. This guy's giving you 3 in 3 rounds. What a performance down the stretch by Halliburton, and the entirety of that team sticking together, staying to the plan, and shocking everyone in the fourth quarter again.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Not that we have control of any sport. Baseball, you can breathe. The pitcher steps off the mound, even at the bottom of the 9th, World Series or whatever. Football, okay, first down. Then you second down, and there's a method to it, right? The hockey is just all out reactionary, crazy, puck bouncing around everywhere. Oh my God, there's always like a scoring chance.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
Dialing it back to his old days with St. Louis and Arizona. Buy or sell, Goldie will finish top 7 in fantasy first baseman.
No, I'm going to say no. I think he'll fall off. Older player here, he'll be top 10, but not top 7 here. Top 10, I would say, yeah, I'd buy it. Top 7, I'm going to say no here. I think he'll put up decent numbers here. Not as good as he was. I don't think he's going to bat 340, 350 all year long.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
I got a feeling Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. I got a feeling there is no chance they're going to the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. I'm just kidding.
They're still not expected to have over 8.5 wins. They're still not expected to have a winning record. Now, I know things could change for the next 24 hours. I get that. But everyone expected Aaron Rodgers to sign with him. He's going to sign with him.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.